I'm Shawn Pitts, the Traditional Arts Chair for Arts and McNairy and a member of the Board of Directors, and it's my great honor to read the induction speech this year for Eddie Bond. He was a successful musician, singer, songwriter, band leader, recording artist, radio DJ and station manager, music promoter, nightclub owner, and TV personality. He enjoyed a long and incredibly varied career in the entertainment industry, and they called him the Tennessee Legend Maker. But Eddie Bond was a legend of Tennessee music in his own right. In the mid-1950s, he was among the earliest practitioners of a brash new musical form called Rockabilly, turning out hits and cult classics for Mercury and Sun Records. But Bond is probably best known for his country ballads about the life and exploits of Sheriff Buford Pusser, which first put the lawman in the public eye, eventually leading to the Walking Tall movie franchise and an avalanche of media attention for Sheriff Pusser and, by extension, McNairy County, Tennessee. Born in Memphis in 1933, Eddie Bond bought his first guitar as a young teenager, and by 1948 was already recording country tracks with a small Hollywood-based Echo Records. Rockabilly legend Eddie Cochran was an Echo stablemate and friend. Those tracks didn't produce the hits that Bond was hoping for, but they got him noticed by more prestigious national labels. By 1955, the rock and roll revolution was well underway, and Bond's first single for Mercury, Rockin' Daddy, was a national hit. Subsequent singles for Mercury also performed well, and Sam Phillips offered Bond a contract at Sun Records. Though none of the Sun sides were released, Bond's Sun catalog, as well as the early Mercury singles, have become cult classics and are regarded by many American and European roots music enthusiasts as some of the purest rockabilly recordings ever made. In the mid-1950s, Bond toured with a stable of Sun recording artists, including Presley, Perkins, Cash, Orbison, and Jerry Lee Lewis, among others, as the rockabilly craze was at its zenith. In addition to those legendary concert performances, Bond appeared on nationally popular radio broadcasts such as the Louisiana Hayride, the Big D Jamboree, and the Grand Ole Opry. Perhaps the best-known story from that era involves Bond rejecting a young Elvis Presley when he auditioned for his band. Bond apparently found a raucous young Presley a little too outlandish for his band, the Stompers, and reportedly advised him not to give up his day job. Of course, this was just months before Presley turned the world on its ear with his first Sun single. Undoubtedly, that tale has grown with the telling, but there were no hard feelings. The two men would spend many hours on the road together and remain lifelong friends. After his early success as a rockabilly artist, Bond continued to exert considerable influence in the realm of commercial music. On leaving Sun Records, he returned to his country music roots, recording a number of good sides for various labels, while concentrating most of his efforts on his emerging radio and TV careers. He was simultaneously working on his own material, developing his Tab record label, and cultivating important industry contacts. Through the early and mid-1960s, his reputation and connections in the music industry landed him at Memphis radio station KWAM, where he quickly became one of the station's most popular DJs. He was labeled Mr. Country Music, and Billboard magazine presented Bond with a special award recognizing him for achieving the largest listenership in the competitive mid-southern country music radio market. In 1966, Eddie Bond and the Stompers were tapped to host a weekend country variety show on WHBQ Memphis. In less than 2 years, the show had become so popular it was moved to the coveted weekday morning slot, where it remained a mainstay of Memphis TV programming for 10 years. Bond's old buddy Elvis Presley was reportedly one of the show's biggest fans, and the enduring popularity of the program is best illustrated by a successful revival that aired for 5 more years in the 1990s. As a nightclub owner, record label exec, promoter, and media personality, Bond helped develop and showcase the talents of numerous other artists, including celebrated sessions guitarist Reggie Young, who recorded with Elvis Presley, B.J. Thomas, Willie Nelson, John Prine, Merle Haggard, and George Strait, among others. He was instrumental in launching the career of Domingo Sam Samudio and his Memphis-based band Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs, who had Billboard's #1 record of 1965 with the smash hit Wooly Bully. He was an early promoter and important collaborator with Frame Studios' legendary guitarist and recording artist Travis Waymack, and furthered the career of McNairy County Music Hall of Fame member Bo Jack Killingsworth, who was a close friend and bandmate for almost half a century. Even as his influence and popularity as a media personality grew, Bond continued to write and record his own music. In 1968, intrigued by the larger-than-life stories of McNairy County Sheriff, Bond wrote and recorded The Legend of Buford Pusser and began promoting it across his radio and TV platforms. Originally released on his own tab label, the single took off and was quickly picked up by Memphis-based Stax Records for release on their subsidiary country label, Enterprise. The success of that side led to national media attention for Pusser, which culminated in a popular series of Walking Tall movies, fictionalized accounts of the life and legend of the McNairy County Sheriff. Just prior to the movie's release, Bond signed with Stax to record a Pusser-themed album, bringing even more exposure to the lawman's exploits. Bond's music was used liberally on the soundtracks of the Walking Tall movies, catapulting the songwriter and his subject to national celebrity status. Pusser and Bond naturally became fast friends, and something of a role reversal. Pusser, the now famous lawman, recorded a few tracks for Sun, while Bond, the seasoned entertainer, was named chief of police for Finger, Tennessee. He was mostly just for fun. Pusser wasn't much of a singer, and Finger, not coincidentally Pusser's birthplace, was a peaceful little town of less than 500 residents. Bond's law enforcement role was largely ceremonial, but he used his new position and his old industry contracts to enrich McNairy County's musical entertainment options, enticing country legends such as Roy Acuff and up-and-comers like Tim McCraw to perform at the historic Finger Barbecue and other area events. Bond spent the last years of his life in semi-retirement in Hardeman County, Tennessee. He remained active in music playing, hosting, and promoting regional music events and making public appearances until his health began to fail. Because of his close association with Pusser and his love for the county's history and music heritage, Bond considered McNairy County a second home, and he was always welcomed here as warmly as any native son. Eddie Bond's fascinating life and musical career deserve recognition on their own merits. Indeed, he has rightfully been inducted into the Rockabilly and International Rockabilly Halls of Fame, and his music has been reissued by a number of prestigious European labels where his popularity remains strong till this day. But he is recognized on this occasion by the McNairy County Music Hall of Fame for shaping the world's understanding and appreciation of our culture with the power of his music. Eddie Bond drew on his deepest creative resources to write, perform, and promote a series of country ballads that memorialized and glorified the legend of Buford Pusser, elevating the sheriff to the status of American folk hero. Bond's Pusser ballads are responsible for drawing international attention to that facet of our history, and they offer us a lasting sense of local identity. Both have been paying McNairy County dividends for more than 50 years now. It is no exaggeration to say that millions of people the world over know McNairy County as Buford Pusser's home and the setting of his greatest triumphs and tragedies in law enforcement because of Eddie Bond and his music. His musical and storytelling abilities and the immense media attention they garnered have ensured that Pusser narrative will forever be woven into the fabric of American culture. That is an accomplishment worth remembering. It is my great honor to induct Eddie Bond into the McNairy County Music Hall of Fame in the class of 2020. Congratulations to the Bond family.
Hey, we're the Dawg Creek Band, proud to be here to honor Eddie Bond, and we hope you enjoy.
Hey! Killingsworth, better known that Eddie Bond gave me the name, his cousin Bo Jack, 19, and I've been called Bo Jack, but he named me Cousin Bo Jack for a TV show in Memphis in 1968, and I'm here to accept the McNairy County Music Award on behalf of Lisa Bond Seawright and Becky Collins Bond. I'm honored to be here to accept the McNairy County Music Award on their behalf, because I became a lifelong friend of Eddie Bond's in 1966 through till his passing. We were best of friends. I ended up playing drums for him all these years, and we played all over the country. Not only did I get to play music for him all my life, but we became best friends, and I've enjoyed every bit of it. On behalf of all the people here at McNairy County, appreciate y'all so much for inviting me out so I can accept this award on behalf of Becky and Lisa. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it.
Ever since you've been gone, I just cried the whole night long. Since the day you said goodbye, you hurt me so no lie like that. I'm gonna look for you and I just can't find my way. I'm gonna, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna.
a mighty man. I got the news, everybody rocking tonight.